Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining me.
Hey Steve, thanks for having me again.
Hey, well, we are talking about a segment of real estate that we do some investing in, and that's student housing. It's
Yeah.
standing out in the commercial real estate market. After struggling a bit in COVID with fears around all the shutdowns, it's really come back. It's becoming one of the preferred sectors. Performance is continuing to push forward, even as some other asset classes maybe have a little bit of a rougher time. We're seeing
Right.
rents for student housing jump on average 7.5% annually during the 2022-23 school year, 11.4% for the 23-24 school year. Investors are liking having those high credit parents come in and sign for the rents, for the leases. Some advantages that people are really seem to be appreciating even more post-COVID in regards to student housing. And as I remarked, this is a sector we follow. So some of your thoughts on where student housing is nowadays.
There's a lot wrapped up in this. I would say it is probably an easier sell, and depending upon, from the side of student housing, most people don't realize in today's world how much they are trying to gain the comforts for their kids and give them an advantage. And some of that is if you're a student housing project that's closer to the campus, and it's by minutes walking, not by actually, actual, mileage, if you want to call it that. If you're less than 10 minutes, you can actually get an absolute premium on a bed per basis than just a unit. So, where some of those places you might see a unit that's $2,000 a month for a three-bedroom, you might get 2,400 or even sometimes upwards of $3,000 a month for a student housing project because you're paying per bed and for convenience for kids to go to school. It's an interesting investment. That's why we do it.
Yeah, I'd throw out two things here is one is it does have some recession resistance because people tend to go to school, stay in school, maybe even more people going to school when you bump into some problems in the economy.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a positive. The other thing, and kind of going to your point of parents wanting the best, um, I was a Generation Xer. It's like, hey, you've got a cot. I don't care if there's three other guys in the room or whatever. You're there to be a school. That's not a lot of today's parents. Today's parents,
No.
you got kids where it's like, hey, where's the gym? Where's the pool? They get their own suite, right? I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the level of expectation for amenities, for comfort, and the willingness to pay more, for college and everything associated with college has definitely gone way up from when I was not to date myself, but I'm gonna date myself back in the 90s when I was a kid, and that trend's kind of continued for a while of parents willing to pay up. So Junior gets a nice place to kick it.
Well, there's some other additives to this as well. You do get some housing subsidization that you get. Some of the scholarships some of these kids get will pay for a large percentage of the housing. If they're and I would also add as well, like there's a side where we're also in a segment, or I guess a demographic that went through high school through COVID, and now their parents are, feeling like those kids missed out on a lot of social opportunities, and now they're willing to spend a little bit more to give them in their eyes, what they deem as a little bit of a step up or an opportunity for more social interaction. And then the last point I think I'd probably make on this is this doesn't really apply to every school, right? Like this model, applies to a lot of these bigger state universities where there isn't sufficient on-campus housing. And you can actually see where there's going to be significant growth and continued growth. Some of these smaller, more private universities don't have the same student housing opportunities, but they still do have some interesting opportunities.
Yeah, and I'll just throw one last one in the mix is we're seeing a higher percentage of women over men in
Yeah.
enrollments. And I think with women there's maybe a more willingness to pay up a little bit for safety, for just more pleasant surroundings.
Yeah.
Not to be sexist, but guys are more willing to put up with like beer cans on the floor and maybe not the best of surroundings. So I think that's also maybe contributing a little bit to wanting a, some nicer places. But hey, appreciate the insights, Jeff. As always, if you enjoyed the video, give us that thumbs up, click subscribe, and visit our website, selectfincap.com. Get on our list to see future exclusive commercial real estate investment opportunities, possibly in student housing. Thanks a lot.
Great. Thanks, Steve.